Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on the Hive. Today's episode is all about experience and leveling up. We're going to cover every single way, the fastest ways, to level up in each of the Hive's minigames. We're going to be starting off with the PvP ones, and then we're going to be moving on to the ones that don't require any PvP. Starting us off is Treasure Wars. Treasure Wars has two different kinds of XP that you can get. You can get XP in solos, duos, trios, and squads, and you can get XP in Mega. Now I'm going to throw a little thing up on the screen just to visualize it a little bit. This is directly from the Hive's forums, and I'm going to put links in the description if you want to go and check it out for yourself. But as we can see in solos, trios, duos, and squads, if you get a kill, that's 5 XP. Final kill is 10 XP. Destroying a treasure and getting a win are both 50 XP each. Now, it's a little bit different in Mega, since there's so many more players, they altered it a little bit. As we can see, a kill is worth 4 XP, a final kill is worth 8 XP, and destroying a treasure or minion is worth 30 XP, and then a win is actually worth 50 XP. Now, what's the most efficient way to get XP in Treasure Wars? Well, the most efficient way would probably just be to hop into a game of Mega and just rack up kills. Or if you're actually pretty decent at PvP, what you could do is you could just hop into a solo game, knock out 3 teams, get a bunch of kills, eliminate a bunch of treasures. That would also give you a lot of XP. Ultimately, it's not that hard to get XP in Treasure Wars. Treasure Wars is a classic PvP game, and it just boils down to, are you good at PvPing? Because if you are, then it's going to be pretty easy to get XP. And if you're not, then you're going to have a little bit of a tougher time. Anyways, good luck. The next game on our list is Skywars. Skywars is very similar to Treasure Wars in the sense that it also has 2 different main modes. You have solos, you have duos, trios, squads, and then you also have a much bigger mode called Royale. This has way more people, however it also awards less XP for kills. This means that if you are trying to rack up XP as quickly as possible, the most efficient way is probably going to be to just hop into a solo game or hop into a game with a friend and just get as many kills as you can. If you're trying to get as many kills as you can, then it's probably going to be easier to just hop into a solos game, as you do get less XP in Mega, and therefore it's just a not as good of a use of your time. There's one more PvP game that the Hive has, and that is survival games, the classic Battle Royale. Now, survival games is a pretty simple thing when it comes to getting XP. You get XP for kills, you get XP for reaching deathmatch, you get XP for unlocking the cash cows, which are the little things that drop and can give you lots of loot, and then also for winning you get 30 XP. Now, as you can see on the screen, all of those are pretty simple. Now, survival games only has solos and duos mode, and for this I would highly suggest just hopping into a game of solos and not doing duos, simply because if you're playing on duos, then you're going to have to share kills, and since the main way of getting XP is just by kills, you're just going to have an easier time just playing solos. Now, there are a few ways that you can make it easier on yourself to get XP. You can just find players and just eliminate them. Sometimes you can find a player that's not very difficult to eliminate, or if you just want to wait until deathmatch, then that's also a way to get XP, since you get XP for reaching the deathmatch. Now, it's probably a better use of your time to just go and kill players, and if you die, then you can always just start another game. And if you're not good at PvP, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and it might be slightly less fun if you're not good at PvP. So you can try improving at PvP, or if you want, you can try one of the many PvE games that don't require fighting other players. Only 97.8% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. If you do subscribe, you will be able to see all the upcoming videos and videos whenever they're posted. It's completely free, and you can change your mind at any point in time. When it comes to hide and seek, there are a few ways that you can get XP. You can get XP as either a hider or a seeker. Now, as you can see on the screen, if you are a hider, there are a few things you can do. You can either kill a seeker, which actually gives you 10 XP, but it's not very easy to do and not very efficient, or you can just find a place where other people can't see you and just spam the emotes and the taunts. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there are balloons, specifically the llama balloon, that gives you 18 points. If you were to use that as many times as you can in a game, even if you die, you'll get way more XP than if you were to kill 7 seekers. You also get a lot of XP for winning as a hider. You should definitely prioritize trying to make it to the end of the game, because as we can see, it does get you 200 XP. However, if you are a seeker, fear not, because you can still make a lot of XP. If you find a seeker, or if you find a hider and eliminate them, that'll give you 20 XP. Hiders are also awarded 15 XP for every single minute that you survive. So if the game is 4 minutes long, you could get 60 XP simply for surviving. On top of that 200 XP for winning, that's 460 XP. Along with any other XP you gather from just spamming emotes, you can easily get a lot of XP extremely quickly. The next game we're going to be looking at is Death Run. Death Run is a little bit of an interesting game because there aren't that many ways to get XP. Though one of the main ways is probably as being one of the deaths. As you can see, if you are one of the deaths, you have the ability to kill players. You get a lot of XP depending on how many players you kill in a row. For example, double kill 6 XP, triple kill 8 XP, so on and so on. If you are one of the runners, the main way that you can get XP, and actually the only way you can get XP, is by reaching these checkpoints. It doesn't give you that much XP, but some maps have way more checkpoints, than other maps do. Meaning that if you choose one of the long maps, it's going to be easier to get XP. However, if you choose one of the short maps, you'll be able to finish them and get XP quicker. So it doesn't really matter how you actually get XP, as long as you're just making it to the checkpoints and then starting another game, you're going to be able to get a lot of XP quite quickly. Just Build is an interesting game when it comes to XP, considering getting XP is not very easy. As you can see on the screen right here, if you finish in first place you get 15 XP, for second place 10 XP, and third place 5 XP. You also can get different XP depending on how much other people liked your build. If they vote for it badly, then you won't get much XP. If they like it, then chances are you'll get way more XP. However, you still don't actually get that much experience from anything. As you can see, if you get a meh rating, you only get 0.5 XP. If you get a love rating, that's only 2.5 XP. And at the end of the round, it is dialed up to the nearest whole number. Now, a quick note. Throughout this whole entire episode, all of these XP numbers are just for a regular player. However, if you have the rank of Hive Plus, then you'll get 50% more XP from anything that you do, so just keep that in mind. One of the new games that the Hive has added to their arsenal of minigames is Block Drop, a classic take on a game very similar to TNT Run. You walk over blocks and the blocks inevitably break. It's that simple. It's also really simple to get XP in this game. There are only 4 ways that you can actually acquire experience. That is by collecting a power-up. For every 150 blocks stepped on, so when you walk over a block and it inevitably breaks, if you do that 150 times, you also get 10 XP. If you win, you get 30 XP. And if another player dies, then you get 5 XP just for outlasting a player. And it usually starts off with around 12 players, and if half of those players die, then you'll get a decent amount of XP. Also, just running around really quickly, breaking as many blocks as you can, will also get you XP. However, you should definitely prioritize winning the game, and there are a few ways that you can do this. However, as you can see, the blocks don't break immediately. If you actually just shift walk, you won't fall right behind it. It'll be pretty close, but you're not going to fall. You can also just survive. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. If you live, you'll get more XP. If you try outlasting other players, then you'll get more XP. So definitely just take it slow. You don't have to prioritize breaking as many blocks as you can, because that's not as good of a way as getting XP as just surviving. As you can see, if you just outlive 2 players, then you've already made as much XP as you would have by breaking 150 blocks in a game. Meaning that just taking it slow, like I am doing here, breaking each block, just standing on one, making sure that you have a way to get out of a situation, like right now, you don't want to put yourself in a situation like that, or just yeet yourself into a void. I don't recommend that. That won't get you a lot of XP for dying like that. If you win the game, then you're going to get much more XP than if you die, obviously. So try to win, take it easy, break blocks if you can, just try to outlast other players in general. You can also collect power-ups. Now, as you can see, here's a power-up right here. If you were to collect this power-up by just hitting it, it gives you a random power-up. You could either get a punch, where you can just knock another player into the void, which is pretty useful. You could get safe walk, which allows you to not break blocks for a certain amount of time. You could get one that just restores a portion, I believe it's around 15% of the floor that you're on, so if I used it on this floor, a bunch of blocks on this floor would just reappear. If you're the only one on a higher up layer, then that's going to be a very useful way to get more XP and just ultimately to survive longer. Murder Mystery is a classic game of murderers, sheriffs, and innocents. There are 3 different ways that you can get XP in this game. You can get XP as a murderer for killing players, you can get XP as a sheriff for stopping the murderer, and you can get XP as innocents by collecting coins, surviving, and also killing the murderer. Now, there are a few different ways to make sure that you get the most XP that you can possibly get. As you can see right here on screen, there are a few different things that will give you XP. If you are a murderer, you're going to want to prioritize killing as many other players as you can, since each kill gets you 10 XP. If you were to pick up a coin as a murderer, you'd also get an extra 2 XP. So if you have only one other player remaining and they're not the sheriff and you know they don't have a bow, just pick up a few random coins. It'll just give you a little bit XP, and you might even be able to get some of the potions that either make you invincible for a little bit of time, or just faster. The main way that you'll be able to get XP in this game is just by being an innocent. That's what you are the majority of the time, and it may seem a little bit boring, but it actually has the most possible ways to get experience out of all of them. Collecting coins is obviously the most easy way to get XP. Every coin gives you 2 XP and 3 XP if you have the Hive Plus rank. Just surviving for a simple 30 seconds gives you an extra 5 XP, and this is doubled at the end of the round if you win. Surviving is definitely the best way to go, and if you were to just survive, then you'll get more XP. However, don't just hide in a corner and try getting XP. The best way to do it is probably to just get as many coins as you possibly can. I believe the limit is 30 coins, and if you get 30 coins, you're looking at 60 XP for a regular and 90 XP for someone with a Hive Plus rank. There are many different ways in Murder Mystery to get XP. The most efficient is just to survive, either get kills, and ultimately just getting coins is going to be the fastest way to get XP in Murder Mystery. So if you are able to, just run around, gather as many coins as you can. If you die, no big deal, just join another round and start collecting more coins. The video is almost done, I promise. There is one more thing that you need to take into account when getting XP, and that is these XP boosters. For the quite low price of only 200 quest points, which you can achieve tons of through this kind fellow right here, you can buy one of these, and it just gives you a global 1 hour XP boost, and if you use that, you can actually hop into a game to activate it, or you can type /booster. If you hop into a game, you can activate it right here by using the emerald, and as you can see right here, there's this free one, which is the one that I've already purchased from the Questmaster. It gives you a 50% XP boost in all games for 1 whole hour. So if you're trying to grind XP in Murder Mystery, trying to get to that sweet level 100, which takes so much time and effort, throw in one of those XP boosts. You'll get 50% more XP, which may not seem like a lot, but if you're getting 400 XP every game, that's going to give you an additional 200 XP with the booster, since it gives you an extra 50%, which is just half of what you get. As you can see, if you were to use a XP booster, you're going to get a significantly higher amount of XP. So if you know you're going to be playing for an hour straight, and you just want to get some grinding and you want to just level up a little bit faster, definitely use one of those. Quest points are really easy to get, and you can get quite a few of them every single day. Prioritize the higher level XP ones, or the higher level ones, the ones that give you 30 quest points each. After doing just a handful of those, you'll have enough to get yourself an XP boost. And as you can see, it does work in any game, and you can just type /booster to view them or access them. So you can hear, right, there's mine. I don't have it active right now, so I'm not getting any extra XP, I'm just using it to show you what it's like. You can just use it in any game since it is a global one. Just throw that down, play for an hour, boom, 50% more XP. You'll level up pretty quickly.